Hey friends, today I'm creating some layered tags using some of the Park Lane chipboard. I'm using the tags, the florals, butterflies, different pieces, and I'm also using Maggie Holmes Garden Party along with these pieces to make a couple of cute layered tags for spring. So I already have two of them done. I just layered some tickets, some trim, a couple chipboard items. I've just kind of layered it up, had fun, tried not to think too much about it. And I'm also using some of those Park Lane sentiments. Since I organized everything, I've been kind of trying to use some of that up. This one, I used some more Garden Party, and I think these colors go perfect with that. And then I used a couple little flowers on this one and some vintage lace. So let's make a couple together. I've already pulled out the majority of the pieces that I think I'm going to use for each of the items just to make the video go a little bit longer. I do have my foam tape from Dollar Tree. My hot glue gun is on and warmed up. I've got my non-stick scissors and a regular pair of scissors. My Tim Holtz stapler. And I've got some of the antique lace and trims and ribbons, and then hanging near me is a bunch of other ones to pull from. And then I also have some gold thread in the sequins trim from Hobby Lobby. And then I have some little cabochons and little flowers and things in here to try to use some of that up. So let's go ahead and make one. So for this one here, I grabbed just a bunch of different pieces, and I thought it would be fun to use a rectangle base and use this kind of oval shape. And then I've just pulled out a couple different pieces to start layering. So first thing I do is layer my tickets. And I'm going to staple them together with my tiny attacher. And I'm going to layer them with this mini tag, but I want to get this down and see how I want to layer this. All right, that looks good. So I'm going to leave that there, and I'm just going to add some glue underneath and go ahead and glue that down. And then we're going to add a little bit of string here. Let's maybe bring in some blue. I'm going to grab this little piece that I have. This is kind of like an ombre, darker blue and lighter blue. All right, let's grab my pokey tool. I'm going to try to assist this ribbon through this hole. It's kind of small. And let's trim this just a little bit. All right, so that part is done. Now I want to layer this maybe with some of my, maybe some of this gold. Or I have some of this lace. Oh, I actually kind of like the lace. So let's use the lace on this one. And I'm going to just use my Ad-Tech to add this down because we're going to layer on top of this. So let's lay that down, and then I'm going to trim this a little bit around the base. I'll have a little bit sticking out, but I don't want too much sticking out. All right, so we have our base here, and then we're going to layer our little tag and tickets down first. And I kind of want things to hang off of both sides a little bit. And then we're going to use this next. I'm going to pop that up. And I'm just going to put some of the foam tape on this one right-hand corner here. And I want to bring in a little bit more texture. So I'm going to bring in some of my gold thread. And this is from Hobby Lobby. See, it needs to be a little bit bigger so we can see it peeking out. And the reason I put a little bit of my Ad-Tech here is to kind of hold that one area down. And then we'll just kind of see it peeking out a little bit. Now let's add some glue. And we're going to angle this to the right. And I'm going to trim this extra long piece here. All right, now we can layer our cute flowers on top. So I'm going to add a little bit of foam tape on this side of the flower. And I think I need to just add it there. All right, that looks good. Add a little bit of glue. All right, and I feel like maybe do we want another flower? Or we could use one of these pieces. I don't mind this. Maybe I'll add some of the flowers up there. So let's pop up our butterfly here. And we also need room for our sentiment. So let's pop up our butterfly. And I'm going to kind of put that over to the side here. And then let's grab maybe, let's see if I have a pink one. And maybe we'll do a little cluster of the flowers here. I'm trying to use up these little flower cabochons. And you could use gems here as well. Oh, I put a little too much glue there. Let's see if I can take a little bit of that extra glue off while it's still wet. There we go. Awesome. So we have a little cluster of flowers, and then let's do a sentiment. And I've been using these Park Lane sentiments, and whew, my desk is dirty from crafting. We've got happy little moments. Best day ever. That's a little too big. And I think I want something colorful. Look on the bright side. We have thankful. Memories. I kind of like the darker pink. And I think I'm going to cut this up and bring it down this empty space. So let's cut these into 3 separate words. And then I'm also going to pop them up. All right, that is hanging over the edge just a little bit. Now, need to decide. I don't think I'm going to add any. I don't think I'm going to add any thread to this. I think I'm just going to put that there. And that kind of fills in that extra white space there. And I think I'm going to put them on here like wonky every which way. Have fun with it. Oh, happy little moments. And then we can finish this out with some gems. And this one is done. All right, let's grab my gems. And I've been loving using these glitter ones. But I think I'm going to use some of these for this one. So let's maybe bring in like this minty green. And definitely need another. Gotta have more pink on here. And we've got some smaller ones. All right, there we go. My little ribbon doesn't want to stay tied. How cute is that? All right, let's see. Let's make another one super quick. This one, I've got several different pieces to layer, and I have a rectangle base. So again, I'm going to start with my tickets and kind of staple them together. This time we'll use the gold, and I only have a small piece of the gold left. And then I need to cut some more down. But this one is big enough, and then we're going to cut this extra piece off. And I think I'm going to add some pom-pom trim to the side of this one. There we go. Trim this at the bottom here. Need to add just a little bit more glue here. All right, so that one's got a little bit of pom-pom trim on it. And let's lay down our tickets off to the side. And then I'm going to lay this flat. This is our tag. Oh, I meant to put my trim on this and I forgot. So we're going to bring that up at the top so I can add some trim. I got glue because I forgot I was going to add that to the top. Kind of clean that up. Okay, there we go. Now, I think I'm going to add this piece here. And this is just this square with like this mustard floral pattern. So let's add that there. And then I have some chipboard flowers and butterflies. And this is a butterfly from the clear stickers that I cut out a couple years ago. Put it on cardstock and then fussy cut it out. And I'm going to add this up here. All right, let's start with this piece. I'm going to lay this one down flat on this, and then let's pop this guy up. And I need to decide. Yeah, I think I'm going to completely pop it up. All right, add my foam tape down. Gonna pop up the flowers here. And then we will pop up the butterfly. Just kind of layering on top of each other. And let's put a little bit of foam tape on the right side of our butterfly. Test it out. Looks good. So you could sit down and just go to town with your ephemera and your chipboard and make some of these. Let's add a sentiment to this one. Kind of like this magical moment. But I am going to trim it down a little bit. I think I'm going to fishtail the ends here. Let's pop that up. And I'm going to leave the sequin trim off of this one as well. And then I kind of have 2 with the sequin trim and 2 without. And let's add this right here. And let's finish it off with some gems. And I'm going to bring in a couple of the smaller ones. And let's see, do we want to bring in any of the flowers? I also have some cute bunnies. And I don't know if I want to add any of the bunnies on here. Let's see. I feel like the bunny would just be out of place. I'm going to dump these bunnies out of their bag, make it easier to use them. Add a little flower there. And maybe a white one over here. I'm almost out of my glue stick. Okay. Now let's do that. And then we need to add some trim. Let's do maybe some more yellow. And this has like a pretty little, like almost lace edge to it. And trim. And there we go. These are so cute. I need to clean off those glue strings, but I used a bunch of the chipboard, which I absolutely love, and some of my garden party die cuts as well. Thank you so much, guys, for stopping by and crafting with me. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.